Looking over our 40-year marriage, I know there are times we've had conversations where you said you felt like you have put yourself on the back burner.
It was fear of, if I were just this size, I would be more accepted in love. You had never said that. Those who fear the commitment are often the ones who crave the connections.
I was about
the
to say that, but it's the consistent, everyday actions that make the difference.
Absolutely, that builds the trust.
Some people are afraid of losing love. Others are afraid of keeping it. Where are you? Teresa and I were married right out of college. We were clueless. We had no idea what we were doing. That desire, that journey to learn how to better our marriage expanded into a mission to change the way that marriage is done throughout the world. That's what we do on these shows. Welcome to Marriage with Jim and Teresa. My name is Jim. This is my co-host, my wife of the last 40 years, the mother of our 4 children, Teresa the therapist. Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Jim.
How's your week been?
It's been great.
You get off to a good start today?
I did.
So you got your workout in?
I did.
Hopped on the elliptical. I was going to use it, but it forced me to the Stairmaster, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to talk about today what?
We're going to talk about how some people fear commitment. Yeah. That's kind of what
I've heard that. Okay.
And, what if you're the one on the run? We're just going to explore that a little bit, talking about the fear of commitment.
So you've mentioned that there are 2 distinct fears. Some people fear losing love, and you say love, but I wonder if the better word is a relationship.
Okay.
Is it love? We can use them interchangeably.
You can. I think
Some
so.
people fear not having a relationship, love. Some people fear having a relationship, love. That seems interesting, but tell me more.
Right. So the fear of losing love, I say this is the more common acknowledged fear.
Let me think. The fear of losing love
Yes.
is more common than the smaller portion of people who fear being in love or fear having a relationship. Some people have, okay, keep going.
So people who struggle, they might struggle with things like cling tightly to relationships, fearing abandonment or rejection. So they just so into it, they just hold on to, they're just really allowing a lot of things to maybe happen, but they're holding on to this relationship. Sometimes they deal with anxiety, in dealing with this, always bracing for the other person to leave. You know how some people will say, let me get mine in before they get theirs in. You've heard that kind of something like that.
These stories.
Yeah. They overfunction in love, trying to please. They like to fix. They perform just to earn love. And then, that can be anytime you're trying to please, you're trying to fix or perform just to earn love. That's kind of a problem. That is fear. That's fear working at its best. You avoid being vulnerable, because you believe love is unconditional. It's conditional, not unconditional, which it should be. But you're thinking it's conditional on what you need to do. So that's the fear of losing love or losing a relationship. And it just, all that fear is often rooted in past hurts. No, people don't like to hear that. Past traumas, and people, and trauma can be a little one of those trendy words, or what do you call them? One of those words that people are using. Everybody's using it right now, but it mainly says what happened to me in my past. How did it affect me, and how is it affecting me today? So it could be abandonment. It could be inconsistent caregiving. That's why you might do that. And that leads to a behavior where you can sabotage your relationship. The intimacy, you can just sabotage the relationship just because of your fear.
Okay. You know what I heard you say?
Okay, no, tell me.
So you talked about some people have a fear of losing love. They have a desire for a relationship, which we all do. We're created like that. We have a desire to be loved. Everybody does. But I hear you saying that some people have, I'm going to use this word, such an obsession, such a fixation on that they end up creating for themselves the very thing they don't want to happen. So I don't want to be out of a relationship with you. So 1, I'm clingy. Did you use that word?
I did.
Use that word. I'm clingy.
Clinging tightly.
2, I don't share. I'm not vulnerable because I think your love is conditional with me being a certain way. So, wow, this is interesting. But that's not sustainable.
Right. Exactly. It's not. But it is something that happens